daily baseball picks and a sprinkle of NBA plays, all in a short, tidy little segment. We've got Craig Trapp on the bottom. We've got Sean Higgs. And of course, we've got the No Drama Llama hanging out
Yes.
in the background. Everybody's favorite No Drama Llama. And the No Drama win of the night last night seemed to be the under in the Dodgers and Mariners game. That one ended 1-0 Dodgers. So we're hoping for another no drama win as we go down the list tonight. First off, Sean, how'd you do last night?
I end up splitting out my games. So what am I going to do? Nice time. It was nice. We had Brewers. We had the under. I'll take it there. But it started off a little rough. I had the Braves because I'm not been into losing teams like the Yanks on losing streaks. I had a rain out with the Pirates, and then I had Miami. Bad call. What am I going to do? I'm like, I think the Orioles are a bad team. And I was like, Matt Harvey, I was just not going to have money on that. I figured I'll go Miami here. But, today I'm like, no Miami today because this is a team I had picked for an under win total. I don't want to bet on bad teams or teams on losing streaks. So I'm like, all right, get away from that. We're going to move on to that. And I got a loaded cannon today, boy. It's like a howitzer of baseball. That's my favorite sport. It's my favorite sport. We're going to talk about some of these games today too, so I'm excited. So 2-2 in baseball, but listen, almost 53% on season, plus about 5, almost plus 600. So I'll take it. 53 and 48. It's a nice. I mean, there's a lot of baseball, but they're dogs. I'm not getting killed 500. So.
Right. Number one, it is a very long season, and baseball is not a small sample size sport. So you got to have a little patience when you bet on baseball, and you got to be willing to take some risks on some of these underdogs because that's how you build your bankroll. Craig, how are we doing down there?
Let's just say I was 1-1 yesterday, but when you have an over with like Wainwright and I forget who was pitching for the Nats, I was thinking over, and they go 5 innings and like no runs. I was like, go figure. And then they left a million guys on bases. But I did hit my best NBA play. So 1-1, but I love today's. I got an early best bet winner in Major League Baseball going at 1, and then I have a late game in the NBA, which should be called the sit-out league because you can just sit out anytime you want to go strike. But, so I'm excited about this baseball card. Tons of early games here for today.
Yeah, Wednesday usually has all kinds of afternoon baseball, so you can sit back, relax, and hopefully take some winners from us. So let's dive into today's card. In baseball, we're starting off with the A's and the Twins. The A's red hot coming into this one. They're minus 112 at home. The total is 7.5 runs. Sean, who you like here?
Yeah, no drama. Definitely betting the A's. 10 straight winners for these guys. I'm on Oakland here. I like the A's. Again, I'm a baseball streaky kind of guy, and I got 10 in a row with Oakland. They're just churning right now. The pitching's improved. Like they started 0-6,
0-7.
They look terrible. The pitching was bad. They couldn't hit. Well, this team has supposed to win 84 games. They're supposed to be halfway decent. Line them up. We're basically at even money here. The Twins now lost 3 in a row. I'm not buying. I'm not backing a bad team at even money. Doesn't make sense to me. Give me the A's. I'll ride the streak till it ends.
Yeah, Craig, who you like?
I'm right with you. I mean, I couldn't say it better. I mean, do you want to get in front of a train moving and hope that the brakes will stop before it gets to you? I don't think so. I'm going to take the A's. I do think the Twins have a starting pitching edge, slight maybe. So if I was maybe going to play this game and I wasn't going to play the A's, I think I would probably play first 5 Twins and maybe the game the A's. That's where I would maybe play it if I was trying to get away from just taking the A's on that long winning streak.
Right. It scares me a little bit that we're all in agreement here because I like the A's too at minus 112 just because, like Sean said, they've won 10 games in a row. They're the definition of a streaky team here, and they've been completely different over that span. In the last 7 days, they have the best team ERA for pitching in the entire major leagues, top 5 in OPS when it comes to hitting. Frankie Montas has been a lot better in his last 2 starts. He's only allowed 1 run while striking out 12 batters in 12 innings of work. So I am on the A's as well. Moving on to the Brewers and Padres. This one, a very lopsided matchup. According to the odds makers, Padres minus 200 here. The total is 7.5. Of course, the Brewers won last night 6-0 in a pitching matchup, a pitching duel. 4 of those runs were unearned off an error, but other than that, it was smooth sailing for both pitchers. Sean, who do you like or what's the play?
I'm liking Milwaukee here. I had the Brewers in the under the last 2 games in the series, so I'm going to come back for 3 in a row, right? No, I can hear now. No way the Padres get swept, right? They're the San Diego Padres. They're supposed to win 100 games. Well, I disagree here. The Brewers are playing good. Granted, you take away the under runs, it would still be a 1-0, 2-0 game yesterday. So you're going to get bad, good pitching that equals bad hitting, and Brewers are not a good hitting team. And I'm not laying 190 with a guy who's fresh off of his first start, DL, whatever, for Lamet here. He didn't, it's his first start season. Last year, guy was great. I think he finished in the top 5 of the Cy Young voting, but that was last year. Let me see something. I mean, I don't think he's going to come out here and throw 7+ innings, 120 pitches, and striking out 10. He's just off of the injured list. Not happening. So give me the Brewers here.
Yeah. Craig, who do you like or what's the play?
Under. I mean, San Diego, first 2 games have not been great. Milwaukee's had their number. I think we'll see a similar, game plan against San Diego. I don't like the unders as much in early games out west. I love when it's a late game and the unders in both San Diego and for the Dodgers. But I'm still taking the under here. I think 2 good pitchers here. I think this is going to be a pitcher's duel. I wouldn't talk you off, obviously, an underdog at that price, but I like the under as a better play.
Yeah, I think the question mark here is what we're going to get from Dinelson Lamet, obviously coming off that injury. And like Sean Higgs, he was electric last season, a 2.09 ERA, and also a big strikeout guy, 93 Ks in just 69 innings of work. And on the other side, you've got Adrian Hauser, not a big strikeout guy, but I think he could probably go a little bit longer than Lamet in this one just because he's not coming off an injury. And I think at this price, you've got to take a chance on the Brewers at plus 170. The thing about baseball is you've got to find and take advantage of some of these underdogs at these type of prices, and you got to take a chance. Even if you lose sometimes, I think it's worth the risk here, especially with this Brewers team that's hot. They're coming in off of a win over San Diego in this one. I know no Tatis or Manny Machado last night. I think they're supposed to be back in the lineup tonight, obviously, but I think that's baked into the number here. So I'm taking the Brewers as well. Moving on to the Mets and the Cubs. This one at Wrigley, where the Mets are favored, minus 125. The total is 7.5 runs. I think they are expecting some bad weather in Chicago. Sean, who do you like or what's the play?
I don't know. Get these 2 fan bases together, boy. Talk about misery. I mean, just the unhappiness. Like, who else can you throw in there? Like the Cleveland Browns team up until last year making the playoffs, like their fan base. I mean, the Met fans are just they're beside themselves. I'm not even a Met fan, but I feel bad because you thought coming in, they bring in some bats. Oh my goodness, we're going to be awesome. And here you are scuffling along. I'm going over the total here. I want to take part of me wants to take the Cubs. I kind of like Davies a little bit, but I'm going to go over because I think we got 2 ho-hum pitchers here, and the Cubs seem to have found their stroke a little bit. And the Mets, I don't want to say they're due to hit, but I'm going over here. I think we're going to see some runs. 7.5 looks a little low. It's not like we have 2 really good pitchers out here. These guys are average to on the other side of average at best. So over. I see 7.5s out there. Let's go over.
Yeah, Craig, who do you like? What's the play?
This Cubs team, I don't understand what they were really doing in the offseason. It was like they necessarily didn't add anything that you can say, hey, we're going to go out and win one. But they didn't necessarily sell off. And I don't know if that's still going to come maybe this season. I'm going to take the Mets. I just think the Mets, they did not go out and do all those moves to be where they are now. They're going to be pressured. And this isn't the Mets ownership of old that was like, oh, it's okay if we're just average. They want to win, and they want to win now. I think the Mets will do so against a Cubs lineup that, let's be honest, just not very good.
Right. I think I'll be going with a strikeout prop here, and I had to just double check the lines here. David Peterson over 5.5 strikeouts at minus 113. He's coming off a 10 strikeout performance in his last one. As you mentioned, this Cubs lineup is bottom 5 in strikeouts in the league. Not a great hitting lineup, and then you couple that with the fact that there's going to be some bad weather. I think it's going to bode well for pitchers in this one. So I am taking David Peterson's strikeout prop. Let's move on to the NBA, the challenge of the century, it seems like, to handicap some of these games. But we're going to do our best. Sean, who do you like today in the NBA?
You know what? I'm going to be taking the Atlanta Hawks here. The Hawks is a team that I've kind of jumped on as a little, a free pick a lot, especially on the road. They've been paying off for me. So here they are. They started as a dog. Now they're the favorite, and the line flips, and there's still people coming in on the Knicks. I don't know. Give me Atlanta here all day long. I'm taking the Hawks. Get it done here. There could be a possible playoff matchup the way these guys, the way the standings are now. So who knows? Again, I just kind of like Atlanta. I don't. The move just tells me to take the Hawks here, so that's what I'm going to do. And again, NBA, it's tricky here. It's why I go to baseball, go to hockey at least somewhere else. NBA. Craig, you're gonna mention it. I know what you're gonna say. I'll send it to him because he's gonna mention what he said yesterday at the Clipper game because it was 100% correct. It wasn't even maybe this will happen. So I'm taking the Hawks because I think that's the dog with the least amount of fleas on it on this basketball card.
Yeah, it seems like sometimes you have to try to anticipate who's going to be sitting out. If they have some kind of big superstar, you've got to think, well, he's probably not going to play. So I've got to just, take a chance on that and then hope my gut is right when you see a game time. Wow, Kawhi Leonard is not playing for the next 10 days or so. Craig, who do you like on today's card?
Yeah, like I said yesterday, you better check it before game time. And like you said, Kawhi decides to sit out. So hopefully you guys didn't play that game and didn't lose with yesterday's free play. But today, similar situation, Heat Spurs. If you look at the Heat, the whole roster's on the questionable list. Sounds like Bam and Hero will play. Jimmy Butler, maybe not. As long as two of these three play, I like the Heat +1 or even money. Also think a bonus play for tonight. Best game on the card. Two teams that at the top of the standings, Suns, Sixers. I think I like the Sixers a little bit in that one. Slight underdog. I think they're a 1-point underdog. I think that's going to be a great game. And I think all the stars are going to play in that one. So that's a little less to worry about. But I like the Heat a little better as long as two of the three, Bam, Butler, and Hero, as long as two of those three go, I think the Heat get it done. I think the Heat are like, just get us in the playoffs. We'll get healthy. Jimmy Butler, we're going to get on your back again this year. I think the Heat start with a big win. They had a big win against the Nets last time out, so I think they carry over. Or a couple times back, I like them to carry that over.
Yeah, NBA tough to cap this time of year. That's going to do it for us at Quick Hits. If you like what we're doing, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all of the things that you should be doing on YouTube. And if you have a nice lock of the day that you want to share with us, feel free to mention it in the comments and we'll mention it on the next show if you get it right, maybe. And also, one more time, hit that like button. We'll be back next week for more Quick Hits. For Craig, for Sean, for me.